Good day, Team Telco. In this particular session, we continue with Understanding Productivity Part 2. And in this Part 2, we're going to look at the cost of misused time when it comes to line staff. You will remember that in a previous session, Understanding Productivity Part 1, we looked at the cost of misallocated time when it came to the manager. But in this session, we're going to look at the cost of misused or unproductive time when it comes to line staff. So let's take a departmental scenario. We've got a manager who has 5 employees in his or her department. And each of these employees are paid equally at $382 per month. Each of these people is paid $382 per month. Now, each employee by labor law in Zimbabwe or wherever you are in the world is required to work an average of 191 hours per month. That makes his or her rate per hour $2 per hour. And we get that very simply by dividing his or her monthly remuneration of $382 by 191 hours. And that will give us a rate per hour of $2 per hour. And averagely, the average employee day is about 8 hours, starting at 8 a.m. in the morning, finishing at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. And so the average employee day is 8 hours, and you take out the lunch hour and you get 8 working hours. The rate per day, therefore, that this average employee is paid is $16 per day. And like we said, this manager who has 191 has 5 employees who have to work an average of about 191 hours each month. That means that manager has at their disposal 955 hours of productivity that are available to him or her through his team of employees or his team of subordinates that report to him or her. Now, let's have a look at the cost of unproductive departmental time. Unproductive departmental time might happen because of leave. It may happen because of sickness. It may happen just because the person pitches up at work but is not doing the productive business work, but is doing their own side hustle work or doing something else that is not related to what he or she is paid to do at the company. So let's say that in this department of 5 people, we have one star performer. This star performer, on average, works 6 productive hours per day. That means he works a total of 115 productive hours a month. So, because we've got a 191-hour month for each employee, that means this person is losing 191 hours minus 115. He's losing 76 hours per month, which at a cost of $2 per hour he's losing the company $152 per hour. Then in the same department, we've got 2 fairly mediocre performers. Let's say these 2 fairly mediocre performers deliver 4 sort of productive hours per day. This means that every month they deliver about 96 hours per month. And that means that they're losing an equal number of hours. They're losing 96 hours in lack of productivity. And because there's 2 of them, that means they're losing the company 96 hours times 2. And so for both of them, they are losing the company 382 hours during the month for both of them. That means $191 each, $382 per month for both. Then we've got the last 2 employees, because we've got 5 employees, remember? And the last 2 employees are really poor performers. They only deliver 2 productive hours per day. That means they only deliver 48 productive hours per month, which means their lost productivity is 143 hours per month each. That means 143 hours times 2 means $2 per hour means that each of them is losing the company $286. And because there's 2 of them, both of them are losing the department and the company $572. So the total loss to the organization from that specific department is 1,106 per month. That is the 152 lost by the star performer, the 382 lost by the two mediocre performers, plus the 572 lost by the two poor performers. In total, this department loses $13,272 per annum. So, what are the consequences of misused or unproductive time by a department, by individuals in the department? The first thing is overall, we have a reduced organizational productivity. Can you imagine if every single department has those same levels of loss? We can multiply the loss per department by the number of departments that are there averagely in the organization, and that number starts to amount to a pretty big amount. And that leads to reduced organizational productivity. And at the end of the day, most organizations are in the business of making money. Whatever the service that they sell, they're there to make money. And reduced organizational productivity means reduced sales, reduced revenue. So that leads us to number two, which is reduced income as a result of poor service to customers. So no matter what service or product you're selling, reduced productivity will always result in poor customer service. And poor customer service will result in customers leaving the business and not wanting to purchase services or goods from the business. Number three, it then leads to high performers becoming mediocre or low performers because they get discouraged or demotivated by the fact that they are earning the same as poor performers, and therefore it then discourages them from working hard or being very productive. The next thing is that managers take on more line function duties and abandon their own duties in an attempt to try to make up for the low productivity in their department. And finally, this leads to missed targets for the department and the organization as a whole, reduced revenue, and therefore reduced satisfaction. Not just reduced satisfaction from customers, but reduced satisfaction from employees because their pay doesn't go up as much. But all of this is because of lack of productivity. So, what are the next steps for you as a manager who's responsible for those number of hours that are productive hours that are available to you through your subordinates? The first thing is you must clarify with your people their action priority matrix. They've got to understand what are the key performance indicators for the department, what is their role in those key performance indicators, and they must understand what is expected of them. Then, secondly, you're going to train your team on how to keep time or how to account for their time using the timesheeting, using the projects and tasks and tickets or whatever it is tracking mechanism that your department utilizes to track productivity. Then it's your responsibility as the manager to keep track and monitor the productivity of the department and deal with any lack of productivity that arises therefrom. I hope this has been very helpful to you. If there's anything in this little training that you didn't understand or that you want to talk through a little bit more, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm available. Your EXCO members are also available to talk you through, and they have the capability to help you and hold your hand in making sure that your team members are as productive as they can be.